Hello boys and girls, quick improvised video today talking about the Paladin beacons and the options that we have in our Paladin tree. You have at this note here Beacon of Virtue and Beacon of Fate. Now before we talk about these, let's talk a little bit about Paladins Mastery. So the Mastery increases the healing that you do by certain percent based on the proximity of your target. This is based on a passive talent we have, which is called Mastery Lightbringer. Right, you can see it over here as well. So that means that the closer you are to a target, the more healing you do to them, which is good if the target is melee, because we're a melee class, but it's not that good if the target is ranged. However, if you pick the Beacon of Fate here, which is that option, and you cast one of the beacons to your ranged targets, the Evoker, whatever, and then you can cast the other one to somebody else, then you're getting full-time benefit of this basically talent over here, which is the Beacon of Mastery, which means that everybody is getting the full value of your mastery. So that's good for the Beacon of Fate, but keep in mind that we're not stacking mastery for M+. The best stats there are crit and haste, so although that's a plus for the Beacon of Fate, it's not that big of a plus anyway. The other plus, I guess, for the Beacon of Fate is that Beacon of Virtue was pretty good last season because it was very good when you had to do AoE healing. However, this season we have so many buttons, we have so many tools that the Beacon of Virtue is virtually not needed because you have many other ways to deal with incoming damage. So from that perspective, you can take the Beacon of Fate and don't worry about missing AoE heals from the Beacon of Virtue. The Beacon of Virtue other minus is that you have to cast it every 15 seconds or so, which is an extra GCD that you have to use, while the Beacon of Fate, once you cast your two beacons, they stay there forever, so you don't have to cast them again and waste GCDs. Although if you want to maximize this, you basically want to cast the Beacons of Fate and change the targets if you know that somebody's taking damage and you want to change your priorities. And there's one more minus for the Beacon of Virtue, which is that they changed the way it works. Previously, it was 4 targets total. Now it's 4 target and the primary target, which makes it 5 people. Now, in order to maximize the value of Beacon of Virtue, that means that you basically need 6 targets. You need 5 targets for the beacons themselves, and then you need 1 extra target to heal so that the value is transferred to the beacon targets. And obviously in M+, we don't have this benefit because we only have 5 targets there total. So you're basically not getting the full value of this talent if you run it in M+. In other words, if you want to min-max, the Beacon of Fate is probably the better choice because in the long term it's going to do more healing and you're more flexible, so to speak, because you don't have to cast the Beacon of Virtue, etc. and you're getting full time of your mastery. However, what I run, as you probably saw most of the dungeons that I do, is the Beacon of Virtue just because it is a very powerful cooldown. Every 8 seconds, you can basically top your full party. The way I do this is before I cast the Beacon of Virtue, I just make sure that I'm at full Holy Power. Once I cast the Beacon of Virtue, you can then go into a combo of casting Word of Glory, Holy Shock to get back to 3 Holy Power, another Word of Glory, and then you can do Holy Prism to a friendly target, which gives you 3 more Holy Power, and then you can send out another Word of Glory. This is extremely powerful, and it guarantees that no matter what's going on around you, you are going to keep everybody in your party topped up. So I just like this playstyle way too much. I rely on the beacon a lot, so that's why I play it. But as I said, again, it is not a bad talent to have, but probably the better choice right now is the Beacon of Fate. Now, what I can recommend generally is try both out, see which one plays better for you, because your playstyle might be a little bit different. You might be pressing the buttons into a little bit different order, so you might decide that Beacon of Virtue is not good for you, and you like Beacon of Fate. But the TLDR here is that both talents are pretty good, so you can pick either. There's no wrong choice here, and whatever works for you, whatever you can make work, is the right choice for your Paladin. Hopefully that video helps you. Stay subscribed for more on my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy healing.